Hello, everyone. Welcome to Datu's Corner Live. How's everyone doing tonight? I'm experimenting with my audio. Hopefully, this is working well. So, and who is that? Mr. Gaudette. Glad you made it here. So, let's get into today's. Well, we'll talk about a few things. So, today's topic is going to be on do you pressure test your martial arts with sparring? So, I'm not digging the audio right now. Let me just try to get this thing going. Boom, Mr. Wolf, how are we doing? Okay, so a couple things I want to talk about as we're getting into this. This weekend, we did a benefit seminar for, we did the 7th Spring Fling, and down in Virginia, Punang Guru Thai Botting hosted that, and did a great job. We had like 70 people there, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have the photo, but I'm seeing if I can find it real quick and share that. I'm trying to keep some things going here. Let's see here. There we go. So now people came in and out all day. Mr. Klaus, how are we doing, sir? So real quick, I'm going to share a window while we have this. I'm going to share this. Yeah. It tells me the same thing all the time. So right here, great group of people. Had a blast. I did some teaching there. And there's a couple different photos here and there and stuff. But really good time. So, okay, good. I'm just pulling that screen down. So, but like I said, we raised a good chunk of money. We're going to be announcing, I had a door prize set up. It is the Modern Arnis University Series. So we're going to be announcing that later during the week of who won that. And we are doing a follow-up. Tuan Jack Latour and myself will be doing a virtual seminar. I'll be doing hybrid on this end. Will be a physical and virtual seminar for the family as well. That is the I don't even know when that is. It's got so many things going on in my life. It's crazy. Tuan Jack just told me about it or confirmed everything last night and started posting this. So I will have to find it and see where it boards off my desk so I can actually talk to you guys. All right, Tuhan Jack's thing. Okay, here it is. So it will be done. It'll be July 25th. I got it right here. I'll do that as well. We'll share this because I can do that. So I'm going to do big screen. Boom. All right. So, although you really can't see very well. Okay. So anyways, Tuan Jack is putting this whole thing together. It's going to be noon to 3 Eastern Savings Time. That'll be on July 25th. It'll be $40 as the donation. And you do that with Jack, Tuan Jack. It'll be ptiacademy@gmail.com. And my topic is going to be working on open hand interpretation of weapon techniques. So I'll be doing double stick applications, doing double like Sinwallies and stuff like that, and then doing the open hand interpretation of them. So that'll be my topic. And I'm not sure exactly what Tuan Jack is going to be doing. I'm assuming the flyer will say something about that. And you can find the flyer a bunch of places. I will be sharing some stuff as we go. Get closer to the event, and we'll make things happen All right, there we go. All right. I'm just pulling it up as we. There we go. I don't think that's the right date. Saturday the 24th. I don't know if that's the right date. I'm pulling up my calendar. Did I say that? Yep. Okay, it's the right day. So I ended up had a good time. First road trip in a long time, but it was a long trip home. I dealt with a whole bunch of nonsense with traffic on the way back. So of course it was just a little chaotic. But all in all, it was good. I got to listen to some interviews while I was driving home. I got to talk to some people, do some conference calls. So that was good. I like when I'm driving because I can multitask. Here we go. There's the seminar. I'm talking instructor. Okay. So there we go. So that's it'll be a good time. There'll be more information on the seminar as we come out and get closer to the event. So let's get into today's topic. I'll stop sharing. I'll bring this up. I actually have some videos, which is cool. Well, hopefully it's cool. One of the cool things. Okay, so here's the question. How do you pressure test your art? Sparring is one way. There's other ways. We can do some scenario training, stuff like that. But how many people pressure test their system by sparring? Now, one of the cool things at the event this weekend is we had people who we ended up stick sparring at the event. We didn't have gear. We did padded sticks. And it was the Action Flex sticks, the Hit Series, which I got to tell you, they're named Hit Series because they hit pretty hard. And I got smacked in the finger pretty good. I didn't stop me, but it definitely changed my mind on a few things, the tactics I was going to do. I had a blast. I ended up doing 3 matches. And I'm used to being in my club with helmets and gloves using the same sticks. I'm used to people who are used to, people who are that have got to work the day after. They don't swing for the fences. It was really good. There was a lot of good power shots, not malicious. It was good force. It was back in the day when I used to do backyard training. I loved smacking hard, and it was good that I got to train with a bunch of backyarders just to bring up that level of intensity. But but if we're going to do a combative art, how many do you pressure test it via sparring? So I'd like to hear that. How many people out there do some form of sparring? And now I'm not saying it has to be stick fighting. Because even though this is Datu's Corner and it's based on a Filipino martial artist, it doesn't have to be Filipino martial arts we're talking about. The theme is, do you stick fight? But I mean, do you spar, period? So who out there does sparring? I know Jeremy does. He does all sorts of sparring out there. I know Mr. Wolf does. How many other people do sparring? And what kind of sparring do you do? What kind of sparring do you like? There we go. And of course, Jeremy's got the smiley face. Yeah, I spar. I spar. So while I wait for people to make some comments, I'm going to make some comments of my own. So when I'm sparring, it depends on what we're trying to do. I generally do a hybrid between point and continuous. So what does that mean? So I do little engagements. I'll be with someone, go bang, 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 and back out, bang, 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 back out. Okay, Jeremy does Muay Thai, short weapon and long weapon sparring. Very good. Cool. When I do my sparring, like I said, if I'm training, that's what I like to do. I like padded stick. I'll pull out the live sticks every now and then, and then I will do, weak half style helmets, gloves, elbows. Usually it's with a couple of the guys here, and everyone's got to work. So we just want to get that little extra zing to keep us going. So, have some level of accountability. Make sure that we are not just flailing away mindlessly. And the padded sticks have an opportunity for that to happen. Now, I like the Action Flex sticks because they've got a lot more oomph to them. Now, especially when they're brand new, when they're broken in a little, not so much. But when the foam starts deteriorating, it once again, the power of the strikes start popping up again. So actually, what I decided to do, I got a few things I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. I've got some seminar announcements of my own at the end. But what I'm going to do is, so I've got, I did a podcast on this before. My Datu's Corner one was pre-recorded, and I made a point of saying, hey, I do spar. This is what I do. And of course, someone didn't listen, and then they wrote in the thing, hey, do you spar? I'm like, what part of me saying, yes, I spar? And it was preloaded, so there wasn't missing anything. Where now, with a live broadcast, you can miss something. So this is from 2014. I don't have a lot of my footage out because I usually just spar. So this is with Ryan. It was on Valentine's Day, and I had Ryan had dinner plans with his girl. His girlfriend was actually there with us, and then she was training. We were all training for a couple things, and so we did a little sparring at the end, and then we went on our ways. I went out for dinner, and he went out to dinner, and this is a multi-round match. And we started with padded stick, and we ended up doing live stick. So I'm not going to worry about the audio. I'm going to mute that. So right here, I start going back and forth, left on right, and stuff like that. I'm going to go full screen on this. Okay. Ryan is in his 20s in this. I am. Well, let me see. I'm 56 now, so I'd have been 50. Or 49. Hey, how you doing, George? So Ryan, I'm the one with the red and black versus the gray and black top. I'm the one that is maybe horizontally challenged. I was trying some things, a little left, a little right. A couple times I lost my bearing, and I ended up, not panicking, but reaching for stuff I shouldn't have reached. My left hand sucks here, as you can tell. I'm swinging like a baby with a wet noodle. But when I'm right-handed, trying to work some maneuvers, trying to get in and out. And, once again, a guy with a kid half my age. Well, round two, we'll fast forward to round two. Okay, there we go. I got to put in chapters on this so I can write this down. So we go live stick. And I decided to change things. And Ryan didn't move on me as fast because, well, now there's accountability. More accountability. Same gear. And now I can do different hand switches. The hand switch I like doing is grabbing the end of the stick and hitting. And unfortunately, with the padded stick, there's only one end. There's one handle. But now Ryan is a little apprehensive coming in, and he wasn't like there was a third round. Well, this is the third round. The first round we just warmed up, and he was all over me. There was no weapon. There was no weapon respect. It was just we were just going off on things. I think part of the reason is his girlfriend was there. He also wanted to impress her. He actually had flowers for her because it was Valentine's Day. And then of course I just there goes his head. That was my tactic to get a 10-second break. Because once again, he's in his 20s. I was 50, or, around 50. I'm trying different things. It doesn't always work out. So, You know what? YouTube does better on the searches, but whatever works best for you guys. You know. Oh, that was a good shot. He got me in the head. So I lost it on that last one. You know, as you can tell right here, I just lost where he was, and I'm like, all right, whatever. And of course, I've got the sound off, so I'm not sure when the bell went off. Okay, so I'm gonna close that one, and I've got another one here. So this is in the Philippines. So everyone, okay, so so let me tell you about this match. So we're doing the tour, and we are. This is the end of our 2-week tour. It's in the 90s, and it's during the morning, but it was a long morning already. We did a lot of training, and we're doing sparring. So everyone was sparring, and I'm like, and all my guys fought. I'm like, well, if they're going to fight, I'm going to fight, you know, because I don't like being left out. I like being part of the crew. Here's the downside. So those padded sticks are in our hands, right? Well, let me tell you about these padded sticks. These padded sticks are rattan sticks with foam around them. By the time we went, the last 2 fighters, the foam had deteriorated. There really was nothing left on that. I would have been better off going live stick like I did with Ryan, because then you would know what's going on. Every time I got hit, I felt like a little wuss, because I was looking at oh my God, holy cow, wait a minute, hold on. Eric, dude, man, Eric, okay, Eric Alexander, long time no see, brother. Eric Alexander was a phenomenal karate fighter, and was doing modern Arnis through Remy, and PG Tai was one of his students, and and we've done so much, you know, there's a lot of stuff interwoven of our history. Eric, we miss you so much. We got to get on the phone and talk, brother. Yeah, of course. I mean, Eric used to spar all the time back in the day. Unfortunately, I never was around if he was stick sparring, but he was a phenomenal karate fighter. So serious about the craft. You know, I've gone out and done a workshop at his place. He took it to Colorado and to Texas and really helped spread the art. Life took him in another direction. He would have been one of the guys leading the art. No question in my mind, and his efforts are still surviving with all the people that he taught and are continuing the art. So, Eric, we got to talk. Give me a holler one of these, or private message me your phone number or whatever. Ty and I are always talking about you. Always. Love you, man. Okay, so let's get back to this as I reminisce. So we're about to go. There's no safety gear except for the helmet and quasi-padded sticks. And more importantly, there's no cups. We're going to find out what happens when a padded stick with very little padding hits somebody in the groin. I know personally, and we're going to fight. So once again, I didn't warm up, one match, just moving around, having a good time, getting some shots in. You know, I'm not sure what the rules are. I'm not sure how. We never talked to. We just said, hey, let's play. You know, there was a lot of close exchanges, or I think, actually, he's wearing a cup, that bastard. Oh, that really ticks me off. I didn't even realize they didn't share one with me. Well, of course, I don't want to share somebody else's cup. Oh, there's my shot. I'm like, all right. Pats me in the butt. Hey, he goes, hey, you're okay. And like, that's not where he hit me. Actually, I just mouthed it right there. You know, I had fun. Don't get me wrong. It was a little reminder. And this weekend when we sparred, I was shocked that I didn't get hit. Now, Eric, if you look, there's PG Ty right in the background with that little chapeau back there, if you're still watching. You know, and I get shots. I'm not sure what the rules are. But you know what? At the end of the day, I had a blast. I also had a cup shot, but that's besides the point. Yep. So, what do we do? Okay, so I guess this is a quasi point engagement type thing. I'm not really that sure. I'm kind of clueless, but this is right in Luneta Park in the Philippines. So it was a bucket list thing. I actually fought Arnis in the Philippines, and I was pleased. I was okay with my performance. There's Grandmaster Riddell. That was his training group. I don't know if he knew what was going on at the time because he's always man. There's a lot of people meeting with him and talking about this, that, and the other thing. So they were preparing for a tournament. So I like doing a lot of hand switching, just trying to throw people off. But and this sucked because I'm in my 15, my 5'11" tactical pants, which are fairly thick. Wasn't really prepared for this, and at the end of a 2-week trip, 90+ degree weather, I was getting acclimated, but still, the sun was coming out more, and it was fun. Like I said, no excuses. I did what I did. He got me. I got him. You guys can be the judge on what happened. He hit me in the groin, and it paused the match. It didn't end the match, so I was happy with that. And I don't even know. I think it was fairly even. I think he may have gotten the better of me. Who knows? I realized the big part here is that I go forward and backwards. So I need to be zoning off after I engage. Instead, I move forward. I went straight back, forward, went straight back. So what did he do? He went offline, and then he came at me straight, and he went straight back. I'm trying to offline a little, but I need to be continuous with that. And I think just at the end of, whatever. I don't know about that call. I had a good time. That is my cup shot in the Philippines story. So we will end that right there. Boom. So there's so when I talk, why did I show those videos? Because the last time I had this conversation, after I said this, someone said, "Hey, do you spar?" Yeah. Okay. I started sparring no gear, live stick, no headshots from the beginning. And then it was lighter sticks, shorter sticks, and we realized, man, this hurts. So we stopped sparring. And then it was a Bong Hernelles. Gave me my first stick sparring gear. It was all homemade. It was padded. He took hockey helmets, modified those. I went with that. I got rid of he had some throat guards. I didn't care. I just bought a hockey throat guard, hockey helmet, and then made my own padded sticks. And eventually, Action Flex came out. I've done some live stick like the week half. It's just not my thing. And I've got a lot of respect for the people who do that. I have a problem though, because when you train the sport, you train for the rules. And a lot of times when you're training for a sport and you're going by the rules or training for those rules, you ignore some of the things that happen that, I'll just blow this shot off. I'll blow that shot off. And there's lack of a weapon respect due to the nature, because like in WCAF and GSBA, there's a minimum armor requirement, but there's not a maximum armor requirement. And that becomes problematic when people are wearing hockey pants and stuff like that, covering up legal part of the body for strikes and making it where you just don't feel anything. So then you just have that people just wailing off. I do know a bunch of groups that don't wear that. They really go minimalistic to try to, to respect the weapon as much as possible. And like I said, when it comes to sport, I really prefer blade or point rules. That's what everyone calls, it's point sparring. At the end of the day, it's point sparring. But to make the FMA guys feel better, they say, oh, it's blade rules. It's point fighting. Let's call it what it is. You stop and go. you get points, end of story. Or the continuous, it's hard to watch, or no, it's not hard to watch. It's hard to judge if you don't know what you're looking at. At least with the point style, someone gets hit, there you go. All right. Hey, Scott, how are you doing, my friend? So no one seems to have chimed in. So either they just like hearing what my opinion is, or no one's got anything to say. That's okay too. I think I'm going to keep this time slot. It works pretty good. And it looks like we're going to have a shorter show, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Nope. There you go. Gotta love live stick, but padded equals more sparring and some pain compliance, not really hurt. Yep. Missed the question. Okay, I'll be right there. Oh, the question was, what kind of sparring do we do, Paulo? And I know I watch you. I mean, Paulo and I actually have very similar sparring style, not styles of like how we go around, but it was like, what kind of sparring do you like? And it's a hybrid between, it's padded stick, and it's a hybrid between point and continuous. So, I mean, for me, if we're going to do a sport, if we're going to do competition, I really prefer point or blood rules, first blood or blade rules, because it's easy to see. It's easier to get those things going. Now, I have people chiming in, so let me see what they are saying to me. Someone just messaged me, so let me get into that. Uh-oh. Looks like there may have been some misinformation on the video. Sorry. 24th, not the 25th. Yep. Okay, so Jack sent me an updated video. It's the 24th. But we'll get closer on that. That's all good. Larry, here we go. Any thoughts on stress testing self-defense scenarios versus sparring for competition? Okay, so how do we pressure test that? Well, I've done some things. Okay, let me go back first. Let's go back to what Paulo's saying here. Limited continuous, as you mentioned, closer to point fighting, but limited follow-ups. Yep, I like this best. Techniques can be actually can shine. Pre-clash moments become super important. Exactly. I like the continuous for the flow, and but when people sacrifice stuff so they can hit, that's another thing. So here we go. I like point now and then, not continuous, not my thing. Padded is fun. Live stick is my favorite. Yep. And so let's get back to what Larry, any thoughts on stress testing for self-defense scenarios versus sparring for competition? And it may not even be sparring for competition. Now, let me talk about sparring, and then we'll get into this. When I talk about sparring, my thing for sparring is about working on timing, working on distancing. There's two things I tell my kids, when you're sparring. The two things I want you to know is how close do you need to be hit or to be able to hit somebody, and how far away do you need to be safe? And that's all ranges, all weapons, natural weapons or artificial weapons. If I'm using something small like this, like a little shank, do I have my knife on me? I know, dumb question. I got a pocket stick, which is easily my flashlights or my pens. In this case, it's not going to be. For really, come on. This might as well be my mono range. And as far as how I use this for my overall skill, let me just tell you the quick story. I fought in the last World Championships of Sikaran, which is a Filipino foot fighting system. But the rules were basically karate style, so you could kick and punch. And in my age group, let me put that up ahead of time. I did very well. I won. I became the world champ. And I don't want to say it was easy because that's not what I'm trying to say. My tactics worked better and they were consistent. And I fought people at weapon range. So if the person had better physical attributes, like I've had powerlifting boxers in here, which is a crazy combination. If I stand in boxing range, these guys would chew me up in a heartbeat. But I would fight them beyond boxing range, beyond kicking range. I would fight stick fighting range. So anytime to hit me, they would have to do a lunge attack to come at me. They would have to do an overcommitted kick. And it was basically boom, 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 blah, blah, blah. They're done, and I follow up my counter with them. And it worked very well. So with open hand combatives in a street scenario, I would try to do that same kind of distancing to keep people away from me, so I would not have to worry about people, or to help minimize people, or not to counteract people with better skill sets than I do, or better attributes than I do. That's where I'm thinking. As far as scenario training, what I have done, and we do this with some of our Ponantukan and Ground Zero Combatives program, is that what we will do is we will take a bunch of focus moves. I got this from Defense Lab. So we'll put someone in the middle and we'll start hitting them with pads, and they got to try to cover up and then get out of the box and have people attacking. I'll have somebody attack and the other people just do pad drills. I will try to grab that person coming in, spin them, and use them as a shield as the other people, or against the other people. My thought is you can fight more than one person at the same time, but you need to stack them to minimize, unlike a movie, they're not waiting to come at you. So you definitely have to stack them up, line them up to minimize the exposure. So let me see here. Do you prefer weapon sparring or weapons with strikes, i.e. punches, kicks? I'm all in, like I'm using kickboxing too. So I've got mixed feelings on that. Generally, I like to be, when I'm doing sparring, I isolate what I'm doing. If I'm doing stick sparring, I don't want punches and kicks involved without consequence. So the problem, like when we're using a padded stick as an example, when you start punching, you don't have consequences against that punch because, the padded stick. I mean, I tell you what, I got this one guy I matched up with a guy. Okay, Patrick. We're putting putting all the matches together at the event, and we did we had a good time, and let me see here. I'm looking for I want to do this right. Okay. Okay. So one of the sessions, the last session, it was a two-parter. Part 1 was cutting. Part 2 was sparring. So we actually had live blade training with swords, working on, practice cuts and stuff like that. Had a real good experience with that. Had a blast. I needed to do the other thing. Of course. All right. What I'm looking for is not readily accessible. So I will look elsewhere as we speak. It's a problem. I love doing things off the cuff, but I do like having something pre-planned. So, it's not what I'm looking for. All right. I guess I'm not going to have what I'm looking for. Hold on. Okay, so let's get back to this. All right, that will work better. All right. All right, just what I thought. Okay. Anyways, so Patrick set up some things. He had some fighters. A group. Patrick had a really, first thing I went out and I have no partner, and it's like, all right, I got you. Okay, all right, that works. Then I fought his daughter, and then I fought this other guy, who Patrick said was like the top fighter there, and had a blast. But man, he dinged me on my finger, changed everything that's going out. Okay. I wouldn't like punching and kicking involved with that because there would be no consequence. Because even though as hard as he hit me, if I was doing punching and kicking, I would have to be wearing some safety equipment of some sort to make it safe for the person I'm punching or kicking. If I was going to do, not everyone trains kickboxing. So if we're doing padded and you have a glove and you throw a punch, how much is that going to affect? Now, I've sparred some people back in the day, and I've had people throw punches and kicks at me, and I've hit them with the stick, but it was a padded stick. It just didn't do anything, so there's no consequence. So they would throw in a lot of kicks. Now, we fought at the Arnold Classic, and they did weak half style fighting with sticks, and people did get hit, and it changed the dynamic. It was fun. There was a consequence for those actions. They weren't allowed to punch. With the kids, actually, first of all, when I do stick and dagger, it's not about fighting stick and dagger. It's about getting the live hand to get in. So I do like that activity for getting the whole body going. But sometimes people get caught up. Oh, I punched you. Yeah, but at what cost? I kicked you. Once again, at what cost? If I hit you in the leg, like I said, if we're doing it safe, I'm using a padded weapon. I use an action flex stick across your shin. What consequences do you have? It's not going to do that much. Yet you might throw a fairly decent kick that knocks the wind out of me or hurts me because, I'm using a fake weapon and you're using a real natural weapon. So, long as things can be done in the proper context, I'm down for it. But unfortunately, there's a couple things here and there that, it just doesn't always line up. I like the ability to bring in striking, but there's got to be conditions set up and consequences for everything. So if I've got someone I trust, yeah, I'm all in for punching and kicking. But sometimes people, it just goes to their head and they get all twisted on things and they go for, what's my problem with the Dog Brothers? I have no problem with the Dog Brothers. But that style of sparring or the MMA style stick fighting, you get some people who are wearing gear and completely blow off safety protocols because they'll shoot in the grapple. And if it was a live stick, they may never have made it in. They would have been hit if they had no gear, they would have been hit with a stick, and it wouldn't be a light hunk of rattan. It would be something much heavier. Then there would be consequences. I do open hand sparring as well. And, once again, timing. That's what we've been doing. Actually, today we're doing Panatukan. So we're doing all of our boxing. That's the theme of the week. So we're doing all of our elements, and then we're stress testing it in sparring. So with the kids, we were doing sparring. The adults, we weren't doing any sparring yet this week. I'm hoping by the end of the week because I have some new guys, and I just want to make sure they understand what's going on before I put the gear on them. I'm okay with clinching. I'm okay with throwing. I'm okay with all this stuff as long as you got the proper partner to work it with. And that means the person that's going to look out for your safety while you're looking out for theirs. Now, what I don't think, what I do have a problem with is tappy, sombrada drill, groupings, all of these things that are not hubud. Hubud's another big one. But I've heard people talk about using tappy. They say, "Oh yeah, we spar." Oh really? What kind of sparring you do? Well, we do it in tappy. I'm like, tappy is a 2-person drill. That is not sparring. Remy on the original videos called it semi-sparring. So, once again, I got issues with that because it's like, if you're going to spar, you got to spar. Know what you're talking about. I don't tell people I'm doing something when I'm not. I'm very particular about, maybe I'm over particular about certain things when it comes to this stuff. Just trying to think if there's anything else we need to touch base on. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's tough. It really only works well when people who have the right mindset. Craig is an excellent sparring partner. Yes, he is. And we have very honest sessions. And that's it. With everything I'm doing. Okay, so what's one of the things I do? Pressure test my self-defense. We'll go back to what Larry was talking about. What I'll do is line drills. And I'll do this armed, unarmed, and all mixtures thereof where, let's say I want to do my stick disarms. I'll have everyone in the room get in a line and come at me with a random angle of attack. And I will do one of my defenses. I'll try to do my disarm, but if they catch me off guard or whatever, who knows? But I'm going to do at least block check. I'm going to do a block and counter. I may do a block and a tie up and set up a throw or a sweep or a trip. That kind of scenario. They'll have sticks. I won't. I'll come in here. They'll line up and they'll just throw random punches at me or try to tackle me. And we'll do a line. It's been a while since I've done that. I'm going to get that back in the swing of things. But these are the types of pressure drills. So in Aikido, they call it a randori, where it's just a random flow. There's a circle. People come at you, and they keep going. Oh, here we go. When people don't even ever evolve beyond drills, 100% consent. Yeah. They call everything even remotely close to not... Yeah. Like I said, the modern Arnis tappy. Remy on the videos, it says right on the original videos, semi-sparring. And it was solo baston semi-sparring, which evolved to tappy, which will be a topic in the future. Yet people say they're sparring. I'm like, well, how the hell do you end up with this being sparring when you're doing, wait for it, a drill? All right. So let me talk about what's coming up, because I'm pretty much done unless somebody else has some. I hit the wrong button. I still hit the wrong button. It's a problem when I don't mute certain things. Okay, so how does this time working for everybody? Do we like this time? I got to get into the pages and then the events. I got a few things coming up. All right, so this is going to work. I mean, this weekend was really rough on me getting things caught up, and I've got more trips that are coming up. Most are martial arts, but not all of them. So next week we are doing, okay, so the next 2 weeks are planned. Okay. All right, let's talk to you later, my friend. And what it is, be this way long and hours in controlled sparring. Yep, there we go. Okay, good. I'm glad this time works out. And this time, good time slot. Good. I'm glad, Scott. Okay. So let me talk about what's coming up on other shows. Let me go into this. Let's see how I get to do this, because I really don't know. No. All right. So, I know what I got to do. Da-da-da-da. My phone is telling me stuff. All right, it's not going to work the way I wanted it to. So I'm just going to go in. So next week, my topic, and this is a topic I've been thinking about for a long time. I have issues, as most of you know. I've got a lot of issues. And if someone would like to hop in on any of these episodes and be a guest with me, whether it be point counterpoint or just talk more things, I'd love to have people join in. So starting next week, if you want to be part of the show, just give me a holler. And I've got a bunch of things I'm going to be working on, and I'll tell you ahead of time what I'm thinking about and see if that works for you. So let me see here. I got this one. I got a couple coming up. Oh, yeah, that's cool. That works. Okay, so I'm going to share my share screen. Yeah. Okay, so next week we're going to talk about, are the Filipino martial arts headed for extinction? I think that there's some serious problems. It has once before, and I have had my concerns prior to COVID, and COVID is just going to accelerate things. Another one we're going to do is one on modern Arnis, the most misunderstood of the Filipino martial arts, and sometimes by the people doing the art. And then after that, no, that's not it either. And after that, Presas Arnis, what is it and why? These are the next topics that I'm working on. So, if anybody has any suggestions or recommendations on things that they'd like covered, George, who's on earlier, he and I are working on doing a video on Tappy Tappy. I know Mr. Owens wanted some information, a presentation about that. 8:30 would be even better. Maybe that'll happen. Maybe I can move it back a wee bit. If everyone feels, and let me know. Hey, would 8:30 work out just as good as 8:15? Probably give me a little more time after class, but we can go there. Hey, Ty, did you see that Eric Alexander was on the show? That he made a comment? Did you see that, brother? And if you didn't, I will. Look at that. Boom, there's that comment from our brother, from another mother. Look at that. If you guys don't know, it's a personal thing with Ty and I. Yep. No, missed that. Came in late. Not a problem. Yes, and it was awesome. Oh my God, what a blast from the past. All this nostalgia. So next week, we're going to talk about the extinction of the Filipino martial arts, whether we're heading that way or not. And it's a multi-dimensional situation. It's not just one thing. It's not, is COVID killing us? To me, it's COVID is accelerating it. Now, I just want a little personal stuff I'm going to share. So real quick, I'm just going to promote 2 events. So if anyone's interested, this weekend is phase 2 of my Panantukan module. Now, I am going to say, what I'm going to do is say, I'm going to go with the review that Paulo Rubio gave me, and he said it was a really good seminar, although Grandmaster Pogi didn't say anything, so I'm still waiting to hear from him. But it's this Saturday. It's the 19th from noon to 2. You can sign up online. You go to datuhartman.com. You'll have the information there. And if you want it, this is phase 2, which does not mean the second module. It's a combination of modules put together. So a lot of my programs, they have multiple modules. A 2-hour workshop isn't going to do all the modules, or one module. So I take bits and pieces from everything, string it together. We did this with Balintwalk, our Stig Balintwalk program. This is the second of the Panantukan series. And the nice thing about this is if you miss it and you still want it, you can sign up online and I'll send you a raw copy of the video. So if you're coming here, we are doing it physical. It's here at Horizon Martial Arts in West Seneca, a suburb of Buffalo. So we are open for physical classes. I have a bunch of people coming in for that. If you're doing this from home, and you have a training partner, there's no extra cost for that training partner if they're not attending physically. And you will get a copy of the raw footage of the seminar. From there, this is the big one for us. On August 27th through 29th is the Remy Presas Memorial Camp. It's the 20-year anniversary that weekend that Professor Presas died. He died on the 28th. It's changed a lot. COVID has definitely got into. I mean, I would have canceled this event. There's no question of what I would have done. But there's only one 20th anniversary. So I'm doing this we've got, so look at these logos. This is Tim Hartman. This is Chad Doolin. This is Ty Botting. This is Rich Parsons. This is Mike and May Williams. We're all coming together to spend time with each other, to remember Professor Presas, even if it's just us. This is what we're doing because it's important to us to honor our teacher and remember him properly. I know there'll be people here. It won't be the same, but because even though the state might be open, I know a lot of people who are hurt financially very bad by this. 40% of all martial arts schools closed in the country, let alone other jobs, restaurants and gyms and stuff like that. So, if there's plenty of room for people who want to do this, let me know. datutim@gmail.com is the best way to get a hold of me. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop talking on this topic because I think we talked enough. Once again, anyone wants in, email me, datutim@gmail.com, or Facebook me if you're interested in being a guest on the show and talk about the topics. Next week, Monday, 8:30. I'll do it at 8:30. We will do the topic of Filipino martial arts heading for extinction. All right, everybody. As always, please stay safe and stay sane out there. Oh, I got a post. You're welcome, Larry. Thank you for attending. I really appreciate that. If anyone has any questions, statements, or whatever, reach out to me. Everybody, please stay safe and stay sane. And we'll see you next week on Datu's Corner.